Let's see. Is this the base Satisfactory music? No. This is a Philion. You'll notice that there will be a bot that pops up every couple minutes to say, like, hey, this is this song instead. We're listening to a Philion today. But the bot will include a link. Unfortunately for people on YouTube, you're going to have to just look up the artist because there's no way that I can properly attribute every single song, which blows. I'm using the Pretzel app on my computer, which is really nice. It effectively is just a radio filled with music that is, you know, copyright friendly. Oh, I can use those as ladders. I didn't even know about that. That's handy. Or did I? I did. Can I ride the elevator from there? No. That's fine. Okay, there's no second floor. Okay, I should probably go up to the third floor, grab all of the requisite rotors and reinforced iron plates, and then we'll figure out the rest. Let's see, grab those. Life is kind of good. We've got a lot of steel starting to stack up, which is good. It's a concrete plan. Thank you. I needed my daily dosage of psychological damage brought on by horrible puns. Oh my god. I should, I don't know how I'd do it, but that would be a really amusing, but possibly awful. Ooh, quartz. I should probably keep an eye out for that. That seems like a pretty giant tree to check out. Okay. But I was thinking, it would be kind of amusing to do... I've talked about this before, but I really want to do a D&D campaign at some point that is non-violent. Yeah, and so I've got a 5th edition D&D book coming in at some point. I don't even know when that's going to be. Called Dragon Soup, but effectively... I'm going to grab it just so it stops humming at me as I go by. But Dragon Soup specifically is a 5th edition book with like 100, 150, 200 pages or so about like cooking in D&D. Ingredients that you get from monsters, various things that you use them on. Presumably, this would also include, I think it was like familiars that were made out of desserts and maybe like buffs and some other things. I think it also had a playable race. Just some neat little details that, like, you know, obviously would not belong in most D&D campaigns. But if you wanted to have like a really cozy campaign that's just like a bunch of I mean, effectively wouldn't be too far off of Monster Hunter, but Shell made a mistake. I will have to go save her in a second. Let's see. But yeah, having a bunch of like traveling chefs hunting monsters, or not hunting monsters and just like cooking. For those of you that saw Battle Chef Brigade, that series of mine, it'd be something kind of similar, but I think that would be really fun. Anyway, I'll be right back. No, you owe me. So Shell left me four pieces of toilet paper this morning. I left her 2. Karmic justice. I'll accept nothing else. Okay. God, this is awful. Alright, whatever. This is just stopgap measures. So we want to do alternative stealing it. Should work. Yeah, there we go. So how fast are these pumping out? Because that's a question. These are 40 per minute. I could feasibly have one more, probably. Can I make one? Okay. Do we actually want to very quickly redo this whole thing? So are you still here? Save her. No, she made do. But yeah, I don't know. Look, there are toilet paper shortages everywhere. It's every man and woman for themselves. Seriously, I don't get that. Is anybody watching that is, like, started hoarding shit tons of toilet paper? Can you explain? Because, like, I'm having a lot of trouble understanding the mentality behind the, like, toilet paper hoarding hoarders? Because I don't think I found a single person that, like, really has provided a convincing argument for why, I guess. And it bugs me a little bit because, like, I'm the kind of person that really does like to try and... I mean, I'm not going to say, like, I'm that empathetic, but, like, I try very hard to, like, understand what the heck I'm dealing with when it comes to people. But there's just something about, like, the Doomsday prep mentality that, like, it makes sense, but I remember back when I lived in Massachusetts, there was a storm that came through, a blizzard. Nothing terribly Doomsday-y, but, you know, kind of thing that would maybe make it so you can't, like, resume daily life for, like, a day or two. And a billion people were out shopping day before. Oh, do I wanna... This might be a little close. Let's see. Yeah, this is a little too close. So why don't we just leave it like that? Those three together and go from there? Let's see. But, like, people were going bananas, like, fighting over, you know, the last can of peas or something just kind of goofy. Whoops. And we just needed some milk, and there straight up just wasn't any. And I was just kind of, like, wandering through this grocery store. I think we ended up just getting dehydrated milk or something else, which is what people probably should have been hoarding instead. Let's see. How do we want to do this? I guess, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to have... splitter, and a merger in the middle. Okay, I don't know why I'm non-spaghettiing this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to rip this whole thing apart sooner than later. But whatever. Sometimes non-spaghetti is good. Okay. The waffles are soon. Okay, so we want to do same deal. Okay, logistics, stackable conveyor pole. Let's see. Okay, that might be a bit much. Okay, this is gonna get a bit sketty. Eh. Whatever. I tried. It lasted for a bit. Oh. You. Whoops. I know what I'm doing wrong. I don't have the merger up top. There we go. Okay, so this should be merging. Let's see. So next up, I had a power pole. The power pole went elsewhere. Let's see. I guess I'm just gonna drop down here. Go to you. That'll have to do. Okay. Ha. But yeah, there are viral videos on people fighting for toilet paper. I straight up saw, like, old people getting effectively mugged for their toilet paper, and I don't know, it's just a little upsetting. Especially because those are the people that need it most. Everybody else can be kind of creative. In fact, I got an email from my town earlier today. I forgot about this. I got an email from my town earlier today saying, stop calling 911 because you're out of toilet paper. Apparently, people have been doing it. Like, losing their shit over the availability of toilet paper. Oh, no, I see. That's what's going on. To the point where they're calling the police over it. And, yeah, my town's like, no. We get that it's distressing, but humanity has figured out for years how to wipe their butts without paper. I don't get it. It happens. Wife was dispatched, and you can't make up some of the stuff people call about. It's just a little... It's a little wild. I have to react a little... Goddamn, I need to extend that a little bit. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep falling off the edge. Okay. I thought for a second there was a sugar cube driving around down there, and I get really confused. So I was like, did somebody join my server? I know it's on private, so, like, I mean, who knows? Okay. That should be good. So let's see, does this clear out or is it stacking up? Okay, so I think we're at a nice equilibrium. It looks like coal is going to be the big issue. but a lot of that's going to be solved with just considerably faster belts. Let's see, how much? Okay, I actually have a decent amount. Then at some point we'll come through with iron, and this will just get so much faster. Okay, is this all T2? Yes. Okay, so that solves the coal problem. Iron's just gonna have to come in slowly. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I had a couple of friends that went on vacation and whatever, and had to come back and be like, ah, shit, we gotta buy things. Yeah, to find out, oh, everybody has just bought everything around here in a panic. Like, it's smart to keep about a month's supply of things, and so, like, I know Shell and I have been buying a little heavier than normal. But I've seen pictures of people with, like, 3 carts, just chained together, just carrying around, like, just insane amounts of food. I guess the point is a lot of people are trying to, you know, prep for the absolute worst, like if everything shuts down. But even then, if everything shuts down, your crazy supply of toilet paper is not going to save you. Are the belts going into the smelter C2 for the coal? Ooh, good point. They probably aren't. Looks like we're okay. At some point I'll come back through and expand this as needed. I'm just trying to get as much as we can until toilet paper becomes the new currency. Except for toilet paper, it has like such a short shelf life in terms of use. I mean, wait, didn't I play a game like that? Wasn't the currency in Wasteland toilet paper? My god, if that game turns out to be prophetic, I'm gonna be upset. Okay, so we can make steel pipes here, and we can make steel beams. So I don't know which we need more of, so I guess I'm just gonna start the process. Odd. Okay. Yeah, definitely not as well organized as some of my other builds I've ever gone through, but that's okay. Alright, so no power. Easily fixed. Alright, so this should give me enough. Steel pipes are going to take forever to produce anyway. Let's see. So we might honestly want to put some of these things on splitters. Let's see, can I? Is that working? It is. I think I'm... let's take a look. So you need to be working on steel beams. So, I guess the question is, how much are you outputting? 60. So, one of these can make just purely steel beams at perfect organization. You, on the other hand, each one of these can make 2. Which means we're going to want to take this one, rip it all up, and we're just going to move that over. Okay, 8. Come on. You can connect. What? I must have had it rotated wrong. That was a little baffling. Okay, let's see. So we want to have a constructor. And I guess we want to take that there. Okay. Okay, got this. This whole system is so ugly. Like I said, inevitably going to rip this whole thing up and do something new with it. Still, we'll have a bunch. So the question is, how much are you producing? 15 per minute. I guess the real question is, what the hell do we need? Let's see. Let's plunk down a craft bench real quick. So, if I want to make heavy modular frames, it's going to require a lot of everything. It's going to require 15 pipes and 20 beams. So the question is, do I overproduce? I have a slot to make one or the other, not more. Do I make more steel pipes or more steel beams? I guess these are pumping out 20, so I'm pumping out 40 pipes and only 15. So I guess we're going for another set of beams here. There we go. Also, thank you, Pyrolux Amelius, for the 8-month resub. Thanks for the years of fun and amusing content. You're going to make these next week's months more bearable. Glad I could help, man. I guess I shouldn't say that. I'm trying to be more gender neutral this year, because I actually have no idea what anybody's gender is half the time. I found out a long-term fan of mine is trans earlier, I guess a couple days ago. And I was like, oh shoot, I gotta be more sensitive about these things. I'm bad at that. Well, I'm not bad at that, but I could be better. The point where a shell was actually calling me out, and it's like, you don't need to use gender neutral for everybody. And I'm like, but... what? Okay. So, steel beams. Okay. And we want to get the... wait, no. We just want to slap this down. There we go. You're a chick, but dude can apply for anyone, really. I like that. I like the fact that dude is becoming just a gender-neutral term in and of its own, because dude is such, like, a nice term of... it's... how would I say? Definitely a romantic endearment, but, like, it's like bud or friend or anything like that. Like, dude is just... it is just the all-encompassing, cool word to use for people of all walks of life. Doesn't even matter. I have straight up called, like, I've definitely called my in-laws dude once or twice, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's a little too personal, but still, it's the same thing. I don't know. These are things that go into my head as I try and become a more progressive person on a given daily basis, but I just like dude. Dude is just such a fun word to say. And it also means dead in Dutch. Not exactly the kind of thing you want to be throwing around too much, but like, I don't know, amuse me. The spelling is completely different, but still. Okay, but yeah, no, I know things are gonna get kind of rough. We were considering going out on a walk earlier today, because I haven't been outside in almost 2 weeks now, and no, almost a week and a half at this point. Just haven't even put on my shoes to go anywhere. I guess maybe I walked outside for a little bit. But then I looked outside, and there was just like 7 people on my street just wandering around, like playing ball, walking dogs, stalking, chatting, and I'm just like... I get it. It's not everybody is nearly as concerned as I am. But like, I'm spooked. I don't want to get somebody's grandma dead. And so, like, seeing just a billion people... Okay, there we go. Looks like we got some stone right over there. Just seeing, like, a billion people all over the place, just pretending that everything is okay, is actually really distressing for me. Because... like... there are absolutely going to be people... who are going to just, like, you know, go out to a supermarket, sneeze, wipe their hands, and then use, like, you know, one of the automated checkout things or something like that. And some old biddy's gonna come along, you know, thinking everything's fine. Maybe she Lysol wipes, but she misses a spot, picks up the virus, and gets pneumonia and dies. And, like, obviously that's the extreme edge case, and after a certain point, like, it's... It like, after a certain point, you can't bubble wrap people that much. It just doesn't work. But, like, if I know there's a dread disease going around, and 80% of the carriers are people that don't even know they have the disease, like, you sure as hell I'm gonna stay home as much as I can, and that's a lot. Just in the off chance that I become a silent carrier and accidentally give somebody, you know, an actually deadly disease. Because that'd be terrible. Let's see, you want to keep your space. Sun and fresh air is good for illnesses anyway. Ish. The thing is, like, I guess I was talking about this last time, but there have been kind of conflicting reports that the virus can hang out in, you know, just fresh air for, like, up to 3 hours or something like that. And obviously, like, with the breeze and natural, wind movement and even sunlight, that probably will offset it, but it's still one of those where it's just like, shit's spooky, and I don't want to, like, contribute to anything getting worse for anybody else if I can avoid it. Because I like to pretend I'm a good person, and it would be a lot harder to feel like I'm a good person if, you know, somebody got sick as a result of my own actions. Let's put away some of this. I should probably put away some of the cables, but I think I'm just going to have to burn them all. What do we do now? I have metal plates. I have enough wire. I think we just needed more concrete, and that was about it. Was this all done solo? Yep. Let's see. So we want to go up here. But, like, I would love to go outside on walks and hikes and some other things. And maybe some of those in more remote places would be okay, but I'm legitimately, like, a little worried to go out, because I don't want to make anybody else sick. They'll stay unclosed for 24 hours. Yeah, just stuff like that is spooky, and I until there's, like, truly, a vaccine or some kind of, like, medical treatment that alleviates a lot of these problems, I just don't feel comfortable going out too much. And so, I think we had gone for a walk, like, once or twice last week, just around the neighborhood. And we saw, like, one other person, and we stayed very far away from them, so that was kind of... that felt okay. But yeah, seeing 7 people outside, just outside my doorstep, effectively, I was like, okay, no, I'm gonna stay indoors. I gotta start doing Ring Fit again, because that's super important. Like, physical activity is good, if you can do it. Yoga, calisthenics, doesn't even matter. Pick up, is it like Qigong, or There's a couple of different martial arts that just involve... Wait, is that a... No, that's not a storage. That's another summer sleep thing. Like, I wouldn't actually... Would people be interested in me, like, putting out a video every once in a while talking about, like, hey, here's something you can do while you're stuck indoors? A friend of mine this morning was asking, is going to the university gym stupid and a disease vector? Duh. Yeah. Yes, obviously, you're a graduate student. You're supposed to be smart. I think a lot of people just don't think about this stuff. You know, for them, disease vectors are sick people. You don't really think silent carriers. You don't really think that, like, you know, just going out for a run is going to make you sick. But it does. It's bad. And I get it. Like, it's so easy to feel like this is a disease that's hitting... God damn it. Is Satisfactory just going to be the Corona Report? Is that where we are? I mean, it is, kind of. It's my podcast. This is my podcast series, and it's just being taken over by Zeitgeist. Oh well. Worse things have happened, honestly. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna have that go through the mountain. Oh, iron rods. That's what I was supposed to pick up last time I was out. Alright, whatever. It's like toilet paper. I'll just make do without it. I think I actually have a lot of iron in my inventory, so it's not so bad. Okay, so we want to do... Is it a constructor? I'd honestly just be a constructor. Concrete. Oh yeah. Hopefully that's coming in. But yeah, I was, I mean, I obviously spend a decent amount of time on Twitter just because it is part of my business. And I was seeing a lot of people tweeting, GIFs of, like, people going out to parties and whatnot. You know, the amount of people that are effectively using this period of time to go out. I was actually reading a thing about people that are taking advantage of the cheap prices for travel. So, like, taking cruises. I think there's a cruise liner specifically in the Caribbean or the Bahamas or something like that right now that is straight up, like, having trouble. They have reported cases of the coronavirus on board, and they're trying to find places to, like, let people off, or I don't remember if it was, like, necessary to let people off or what exactly, but it was very much like they needed a resupply. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna slap this up on top. Wait. No, I don't want to slap that up on... do I? Okay. I do. Let's take that back, though. Oh, floor is too steep? Even this? But this. Yeah, okay. So trying to build it on top of this is getting a little... It's a little wrong. Let's see here. Push-ups in the queue. Yes, I've got to do 30 push-ups. Guess I should do that kind of whenever. Okay. But yeah, so I was it like Alabama or Kentucky or something like that? There was a there was like this big gathering of people wearing cowboy hats, and I think they had like, there was definitely something about making fun of the corona at this bash and being like, we're not gonna get it, it's a hoax. And I'm just sitting there being like, oh, somebody there is going to come in contact with like an older person, and it's going to be bad. Okay, so you're going to be working on... We also need stators, but no, this is going to be working on encased industrial beams. Shit, that can make... This can make a lot. Whatever. It won't be running at peak efficiency. This is temporary. Okay, let's see if we have... Is this working? No. Right, because it's probably not powered. I bet I never plugged any of this in. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, guaranteed, 100% we're not going to be running this factory up here at full capacity. But that's fine. I don't really need to. Not yet. Eventually we're going to have to. Okay, so how are these going? It's still spitting, so we'll be able to expand this eventually. Low priority currently. Yeah, 5 concrete, 30 per minute. That ain't happening. And that's okay. This is gonna hurt, ain't it? Oh, I have a bunch of iron ingots. I'm dumb. But yeah, I'm glad at least some people in the U.S., some administrations especially, are just like, shit, this is going to be bad, so, like, we should probably lock some things down for a while. It's just the people that are just being like, it's not a problem, it's just a bad flu, and it's like, I had the flu once, it wasn't so bad, but I was also a high schooler, relatively healthy, and it was a relatively mild case. It still knocked me on my ass for a week, and it was like the worst fever I've ever had. And there's like a very real possibility I might have actually... Yeah, I don't even know what I had. It was like 2010, 2011, which is like H1N1 territory. But I had 2 sicknesses. One where I straight up couldn't go to school for like a week and a half, and then the other one where I was... it's just a blank week. I straight up don't remember it. I remember being super tired and not feeling well, and then waking up almost a week later. Of course, my mother does not inspire a whole lot of confidence after that specific event, because her solution to me being that sick was to just leave me sleeping for days on end. And I'm like, I feel like I should have gotten at least some, like, some stuff. You know, food. She probably did feed me, but I don't remember shit about it. Where I am isn't bad yet. The problem is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a 1 to 2 week incubation period. So it's not bad yet. It's going to be bad in 2 weeks, and that's the scary part. Also, thank you, OFL Iron, for the 5-month resub. Yay! Thank you. Okay. So are we good? We're not. This is absolutely gonna overload pretty hard. Or that's absolutely just going to demand way too much of my current infrastructure. We're gonna want to rip this all up. What we might want to do is actually rip this up and bring it over to the Tower of Industry as kind of its own separate floor, but